I just want everyone to understand that the poetry that I wrote walking down that path was a trying time in my life. And a lot of times we go through things. And we take those walks, and you need someone to take the walk down that path with you for them to understand the rough time that you went through. You don't want no one to judge you from what you went through. You don't want no one to look at you different from where you've been. You don't want them to see the hurt. You don't want nobody to see you crying. You don't want nobody to see your pain. But this is when you have to ask someone to walk that journey with you because it's hard. You know, I needed some.
Welcome, everybody. And I thank you for tuning in, or if you're tuning in later, to Let Loose and Be Free. And today, my awesome special guest today is Shamika. Am I correct? Is it Shamika
Yes.
Harris?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. You know, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. Thank you for coming to Let Loose and Be Free with the author, Sheena Goodine. How are you today, hon?
I am awesome. How are you?
I'm awesome. I can't complain. So, can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Again, my name is Shamika Harris. I'm a mom of five. Not newly, but I guess newly divorced. It's been 3 years now. I am a human resources manager, a life coach, counselor as well. I am new to the author community. Um, got my hand in a whole bunch of different things, just rebuilding myself after going through such a, tough time, but everything all good now. um, so yeah, pretty much
Amen.
my yeah, it's all good.
That is what's up. So, first question for you. Can you tell me the first time that you might have encountered domestic violence or any type of, not necessarily physical abuse, but type of abuse?
Really, I mean, it wasn't necessarily me that was
Mm-hmm.
actually the first time, but I've witnessed it. I've seen it in
Okay.
relationships around me. But for myself, um, my kid's father uh, was, I had moved to Wisconsin with him, with his family, because he was just, reconnecting with them, and we had gotten in a little argument about something. And before this has never happened. Like, this was such a shocker. And so we had a little incident, and it was about him and another woman, of course. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but the first time I had kind of brought that to his attention, how I was not liking how he was disrespecting me, being that I was there with his family by myself. He didn't like that I approached him with that, and he slapped me so hard my whole side of my face swell up. Um,
Wow.
and it that broke my heart, because, like I said, that had never happened. I never expected that to happen. Didn't even know that he had that type of tendency in him. Like, I just had no idea. So yeah, that was the very first time that he had actually physically touched me. We had never even had like arguments bad enough to even go there. But yeah, that was it. And after that, it just became a norm, even with the name calling and stuff like that.
Wow. And yeah, that's such a hard thing, especially when you're not expecting it, and it's not like he showed sign of it even happening. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, where did that come from?
Mhm. Yeah, it was hard, because, like I said, just now looking back, I guess it was more of a, let me stick my chest out. I'm around my family, and let me show her
Yeah.
who's boss and stuff like that.
Right.
Uh, so I guess it was more of that than anything. But again, like, I never expected that to happen. I never even imagined that he would do something like that. So
Now, after it happened, how long did you stay, or did you leave, or what happened after that encounter? Like, how did you handle that
mm,
situation, being the fact that it came up?
you know, this is where this is the problem that I have. Like, we get these signs, we get the ways to make escape, and we don't because we're
Mm-hmm.
always trying to find excuses to stay. Um,
Right.
this is, I had only had my oldest daughter and my oldest son at this time, so I have 5 kids.
Okay.
This was only children. I only had 2 children at this time. So look how many years had passed before I decided to leave. When that time he did that, I should have been done. Um, but
Right.
all I really did was, I was in Wisconsin and my family was back in Illinois, and so I should have went
Mm-hmm.
home. But then, I felt like I couldn't go home. I wouldn't have the support or whatever, so I stayed there. Um, with him. And after that happened, I just cried and laid down, and that was it. The next day, got up like nothing happened.
Ooh. And you're right. A lot of us tend to stay and think it's gonna get better, or we hear the I'm sorry's and like, all right, well, maybe it just happened at that moment. It's not gonna happen again, but then we encounter the rest of it. So
Hmm.
since you said you only had two, then you got five now. So that means 3 kids later,
Yep.
we were
Yep.
still in this relationship. So what
Yep.
gave you the courage to leave finally and just said, all right, I can't do this anymore?
Uh, well, with my last pregnancy, before I even found out I was pregnant, I was already taking the steps to, file for a divorce because we had gotten married and everything, Lord. But
God.
I had
Okay, wait,
finally,
wait, wait. Hold on. So
yeah,
let's back up. So you wasn't
yeah,
married what happened and then y'all end up getting married. Okay. All right.
yeah. We were not married at the time when it first started.
Mhm.
We were actually in Wisconsin, and
Okay.
uh, I had another child, my third child, and he had hit me so hard. And while I was pregnant with my third child, he sent me into labor. Um,
Mm.
and I went into labor, and I was in labor at that hospital by myself. I didn't have any family there. He didn't even come. Like he didn't even have,
Right.
the compassion or anything to even come and
Right.
be there to support me after he just sent me into labor. He didn't even come and be there
Yeah.
with me. So after that time, I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is a little too much. So after I had my baby, I took my 3 babies and came to Houston, Texas. That's how I ended up in Houston,
Hmm.
Texas. Um,
Okay.
and probably like a year later, he ended up coming here because he was talking to my mother in
Hmm.
between that time too, and she, you here with the kids by yourself, you need him to be here. Like, no, I don't need him to be here. But he ended up coming down a year
Right.
later. And, for a quick second, he was like he was a new man and he was okay and all of that kind of stuff. And, we got back together, got a place together. And, I was working, doing well, doing okay for myself, by myself.
Hmm.
So I should have left
Right.
at that. But I didn't. And, we got back together, got a place, and the cycle just continued from there. But yeah, I got pregnant again and we got married.
Hmm.
Um, but a couple months before my fourth baby was born. And the day we were supposed to get married should have been a sign not to get married because I had to
What
call the
happened?
police. Because I had to call the police, and he was so drunk and irate
Wow.
the night
Yeah.
before. The night before we were supposed to get married. Um, he was at his friend's getting drunk,
Hmm.
and he was so upset that I was upset with him for being drunk, and I'm pregnant. I'm like, it's late. I want to go home. Like I don't want
Yeah.
you to be, out this late. I'm ready to go to bed. And he was driving so terribly to get us home. He had us almost in an accident with an 18-wheeler. And we made it. Finally made it home. Thank God. Got home and we arguing and he pushing me, trying to choke me and all that kind of stuff. Because I'm like, you are so drunk, just like leave me alone when we get home. And he tore up the place and just acted a fool. So that should have been even another sign like, why are you going to marry this man? Like, what is wrong
Right.
with you? And still, we went to sleep probably 4 o'clock in the morning, got up, and 5 o'clock in the evening, we were getting married. Shame on me. Shame on me. And again, it's just like the signs are there. You continue in relationships that can almost kill you, take you out of here. And for every reason that
Right.
you can find, you'll stick around. No reason is good enough, but you
Hmm.
will find one.
Right.
Um, so yeah, after that, we were married for 8, 9 years before I got pregnant again. And this time I was going to file for divorce when I found out I was pregnant. And so when I found out I was pregnant with my last baby, I was so depressed because I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm ready. I'm ready to
Right.
go. I'm done. And another reason to stay, like, okay, this 5 kids, who gonna want me with 5 children? They young children at that. So I stayed still longer, and the day after I came home from the hospital having her, I ended up back in the hospital because he had pushed me down so hard, tore one of my stitches out. I had a cesarean, tore one of
Mm.
my stitches,
Yeah.
and I was in the hospital for another week and a half. So having a newborn baby
Maybe.
at home, somebody else having to keep her because I'm in the hospital, like, should have been done. It's just so many red flags, so many opportunities that I had, the chance to be done and gone, but I just didn't do it. I didn't do it.
You wasn't ready. You didn't have enough yet. When most of the time, when once we get to that enough point, that's when we decide to leave. Instead of when we see the signs right in front of our faces, we choose to
Yeah.
say, "Nah, you know, we can work this out," or "Oh, it can get better." So I get it. I get it. I understand it. Or and then the fact is, we're blinded by the love that we have for that person. We just try to see the good when we should
Yeah.
honestly see what's truly in front of our face and what's going on. So I,
It's
I
the truth.
definitely understand.
It was the truth. It was,
Definitely understand.
I stayed around, because I had a family with him, but
Hmm.
the beginning stages of him, who he was in the beginning, I kept that in my head. Like, he gonna go back to
Right.
that. He's gonna be who he was when I met him. He's gonna, be this guy that came in, because I was going through so much, in my young adult life. He kind of came
Hmm.
in, helped me with some certain situations. So I was just like, this is a great person. But he wasn't that person
Right.
anymore because, he was able to take me away and kind of hand me off to himself and do what he wanted to do because he knew there was nobody there for me. So,
Right.
it's,
He had you isolated. He's like, I
yeah,
got her where I want her. I
yeah,
made her feel good, so now I can break her down and put her in a position to where he can't do nothing about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He did. He definitely did that.
But I'm happy that you're out and you're free.
Yeah, I am free.
So that is the blessing. That's why we call this let loose and be free. Because
Yeah,
you are able to say, I'm alive and I'm free now. Like I'm not dealing with that toxicness anymore.
yeah.
You've
Mm.
found your self-worth, you've found your ability to do it on your own without saying, yeah, I do have 5 kids, but I got this.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So
It's
I
true.
understand.
Definitely got
So
it.
if you
We've
had to
been,
tell somebody,
yeah.
if you had to tell somebody the red flags that you feel that comes from people that are narcissistic or controlling and stuff, what would five signs that you think that could help them just in case they need to look out for?
That Jekyll and Hyde personality. One minute they nice, the next minute they crazy. Don't take inconsistencies as a red flag. That's the thing right there. Um, don't ever think. I mean, as much as I used to not want to believe this, if a person put their hands on you, he ain't gonna stop. He or she, you give them one time, one pass, and guess what? They're gonna keep on going with that. That's just who they
Right.
are. They are not gonna change that if they're not willing to get no help, and that's just them. Um,
Right.
a person who blames you for putting their hands on you when you didn't touch them, that's a red flag. Because oh, you was nagging me, or you was getting on my nerves, or you should have shut up, or you shouldn't have, went outside at this time. Things like that. If a person blames you for putting their hands on you, that's a problem. Another thing I would say is an issue or red flag is, a person who wants to break you down. You don't have to. These people they suck life from you to maintain themselves, to make themselves
Right.
feel good, or to make themselves feel superior. They cannot be whole without taking what you have. So, anytime somebody wants to break you down, discourage you, or make you feel little, run away from them. And another thing I would say, get to know these people's family, because the thing with his family, they okay that kind of mess. They, you know, well, maybe
They,
you shouldn't
so
have
they knew
said.
what he was doing, and they were just all right.
Oh, oh my gosh, yes. I had
Wow.
sent them to jail. I sent them to jail one time, and they was all trying to fight me for sending the man to jail. Like,
Are you
I'm pregnant.
serious?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
I'm pregnant with this man's child, and he up here putting his hands on me, and I'm here by myself, and y'all don't think nothing should happen to him? Yeah, no, that's a problem. So, get to know
Yeah.
these families that you involving yourself with, because they don't be right either. And, a lot of times, you know, relationships, I see this a lot where these women are isolated with these crazies,
Hmm.
and they don't have nobody to turn to. So, at least if you're gonna be, you know, in relationship, get to know these people's family before you do that, because you not
Yeah.
only marry them, you marry their family. The behaviors, the inadequacies, all of that. You marry into that kind of stuff as well.
You have a quote. This you had a somebody shared put a comment and said, "Yes, glad that you were able to get out. Glad that you are on a great path of healing."
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And really what really encouraged me to come, to this platform is the fact that somebody is dealing with this right now. And when I tell you what I look like now does not look like what I've been through, I mean, come on.
Right.
Like, I just cannot thank God enough for allowing me, giving me the strength to just get out of that. I had to save myself. And I just
Yeah.
pray, encourage, if another male or female, because it can happen to men too. If you're going through something like that, it's okay to be broken down, because guess what? God will break you down to build you back up. And what he gives to you is going to be
Absolutely.
10 times greater than what you lost, that person you lost. Everybody asks me now, like, when you gonna start dating again? When the Lord sends somebody, because I ain't gonna even play the next
You
time.
know, right? Right. Ain't no we it's no sense to rush because first of all, you have to heal from what you've been through, and it
Hmm.
is no rush to just jump right into something. So those same people that are trying to rush you into it, where were they when you was going through this situation? Like when you dating? Listen, we gonna pause on
They,
that.
yeah, yeah, because
We go pause on that because and she
all
also
that
said,
sweet.
"Come on now with it." She said, "Yes, you don't look like what you've been through."
Oh no, 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 no. I owe it all. I owe it all to God. Oh my gosh, I can't even, man, I can't even explain, how I believe that, what he takes from you, that little bit he took, that little piece of man, oh, he gonna reward me so great. I can't wait. I just can't wait.
Listen, absolutely. When your Bozak comes, it'll be right on time.
Right on time, right on time. Yes.
Absolutely. So, if you had to make a toolbox for somebody that is healing after the process of hurt, being broken and defeated and mentally tormented and all these things, what 5 things would you put in that box?
You know what? I made a video today, um, and shared it on my Facebook. I went live because
Wow.
I want people to understand that, first of all, you need to find someone that you can trust. Get some counseling, go to therapy, um,
Hmm.
do those things and get it out. Don't hold it in. That's what I think was a hindrance for me. My family, now to this day, they still in contact with him. They still friends with him like he never did nothing. But it's find somebody that you can trust and let it out. I didn't. I just kept it
Hmm.
all a secret, kept it to myself.
Hmm.
Only people that were right there in the moment knew about it.
Yeah.
So people would see him and they couldn't believe that this was the type of man he was. But yeah, he was. Like, pull up the police record. You'll find out, what he
Hmm.
did.
Right.
And so definitely find somebody that will be there to support you through that journey, because that's the number one reason why people stay in these relationships. They don't have nobody. And so, if I can
Right.
give a toolbox, I'm gonna give you a number to a great counselor who helped me. And it's been years later, and I'm still in counseling.
Me
Because
too. Don't feel bad. I'm right there with you.
I'm gonna make myself, make myself a priority. So I'm not gonna
Right.
let, him, what he did to me, dictate the rest of my life. So I am definitely
Right.
still in counseling. Take care of yourself. Everything that you love to do, do it. Um, all the people that want to shut you down or say you shouldn't do this or do that, nope, nope, nope. Do everything that you want to do. I take myself on dates. I take myself on trips. I
Yes.
read.
Yes.
I do whatever I want to do. Um, Another thing would be, get you, if you're into spirituality, find a group of people that can, just pray for you. Prayer, because it's gonna be some days you don't even want to get out the bed. Like, I can't
Yes.
tell you how many months I laid down, just wanted to just be over. I just wanted it to be over,
Yeah.
but I couldn't. I couldn't stay there. So I would have two
Right.
or three of my friends, through church, who would come and, I mean, sit and pray with me so tough, just pray, 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 pray. And another thing I would say is, go to, they offer these domestic violence classes and courses and things like that. You know, do one of those groups. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed about your story, what you went through. Because guess what? Because you've gone through it, you can help somebody else. You're gonna see an avenue to encourage another person, but because you're a true advocate of what healing and taking care of yourself can do. Like, I am so big on self healing, mental health. That's my number one priority, and I feel like my purpose right now is to let people know that, man, you could come back from anything. You can come back from it. And when I say I lost it all,
Amen.
I lost it all. But this little old 5'3" little woman with 5 children ain't missed
Hmm.
a beat. I have not missed a beat
Hey.
at all. So, definitely, make yourself a priority, because you're important. You here for a reason, and you gotta make that important. You gotta make that a number one priority. You can't give to nobody else, your kids, no spouse, no friends, no
Right.
nothing. if you're not taking care of you.
Girl, you better say that again. I hope y'all picking these gems up. You are number one priority. Because if you
You
can't be,
are.
if you don't take care of you, how you gonna be able to function, take care of the kids, or anything else that you need to do? So absolutely correct. You are number
Yeah.
one to heal and take care of you and know that you're worthy, know what you deserve, know what you should allow, find the boundaries, learn to say no to the toxicness that you don't
Yeah.
allow in your life. Any negativity, it has to go. So,
It has to go.
amen.
It
Yes,
has
it
to,
has
you
to go.
know.
It's necessary. It's especially like mentally, because the longer you stay around toxicness along with anything else you're going through, it's gonna set you back because you're allowing all that to still spin around you. So absolutely, positivity is the
Woo.
key.
I ain't gonna look, and that's another thing too. If you gotta get away, get away. I had to leave family members
Yeah,
and all because I feel like, oh, y'all
yeah.
not support when I'm trying to get out of this
Mm-hmm.
thing, you know. And I
Right.
still kind of deal with that now with family members, but I don't care. I don't let it bother me. Y'all can talk
Mm-hmm.
to him, be his
Right.
friend, all that kind of stuff, you know. But I had to actually like leave the state to
Okay.
regain my composure, regain my mental health. Like you know, it's a scripture in the Bible that say God went out, you know, went out to the mountain by itself. That's me. I went. I just left. I
Mm-hmm.
left Texas and went all the way to Illinois to get away from folks, just so that I can build
Sometimes you
myself
gotta do
again.
it.
And I just shut everybody out. I just shut it all down. You know, had my kids and explained to them what I was doing, and at the same time
Mm-hmm.
working on myself and counseling and all that kind of stuff. But as long as they understood that Mama was trying to make herself better, I was okay.
Right.
I didn't need to talk to nobody else.
Exactly. As long as they understood, that's all that mattered. Because y'all
Mhm.
a team. So anybody else in the equation boxed
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fine. So let's
Yeah.
talk about this newly authored book that we have going on. So I need the title of the book
Okay.
and when
Yeah.
did
The
you
title.
and when did you release it?
So the title is Rebuild. You know, I'm all
Okay.
about taking yourself and rebuilding from the bricks that were thrown at you. You take them and build yourself back up. The title is Rebuild. It is a new book. It will be out August 2nd. I did,
Okay. Whoop whoop.
yeah. So I'm excited
Launch
about
time.
that. Yeah, it is. Finally, you know, going to be getting my stuff situated on Amazon and, you know, making sure it's on all platforms and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited. You know, this book has been laying inside of me for years. And I finally, you know, put the pen to the paper and actually done it. So I'm excited. I'm really, really excited for
I'm
it.
excited for you. Like this is huge. Like I remember writing my first book, and when I got my first book, I cried. Like when it got in my hand and I opened the package and I seen my name, it was everything because it's like
Yeah.
it's not something nobody can take that away. I told my story and it was there. Like it took
Yeah.
that to somebody else. So I
Yeah.
definitely understand.
That is
So
it.
tell us a little bit about it. Like what is in this rebuild book? Like let me give us a little
So,
snippet of what's in it. Like what's in
yeah.
this?
So in this book, it's really like a love note to yourself. It's a journal. I'm
Okay.
taking you through a journey because there was, you know, going through stuff like that, dealing with mental health and,
Hmm.
you know, dealing with
Hmm.
somebody that's breaking you down, you know, going through all the grief and all that kind of stuff. I talk about the different feelings that I was going through. You know, I'm going through feeling alone, abandoned, let down, all of that kind of stuff. So I kind of go through and talk about how I felt in those times. And then I also listed different scriptures to kind of help you get over the feeling that I felt in the book. And what makes it so
Okay.
special to me is I'm a live out loud type of person. I love to dress. I love to put on jewelry. I love to do my hair different, all that kind of stuff. So I suggest things that you should wear or things, you know, go outside and take a walk in the park and see the greenery. What does green signify to you? Green is life. Green is growth. and just seeing, different colors actually change your perspective. It changes the chemical in your mindset to kind of like put you in a
Mm-hmm.
different state of mind. So, as we go through the day, I'm asking you, what are you feeling about this? And, what brought you to this point? And how do you see yourself getting out? So it's really like a love note to yourself, a journal. There are pages in there to write down what you're feeling. And I kind of just share my story in there as well.
I need that. I'm waiting. Look,
I
you
got
said
you.
it's gonna be August 2nd. Listen,
I
I
got you.
need that all in the life. Yes.
I got you. I
Because
got
even though it's been 4 years, we still have our triggers. We still have things that we still deal with. We still have things that are reminded. Dreams pop up, things
you.
trigger us, things pop up, and your mind still wanders,
Yeah.
So, and like certain things still give me anxiety. Like, I check my
Yep.
windows every day because I had a person to try to come through my window. Like, so I get
Ooh,
it. I get it. Like, it's crazy. So
it is crazy,
I still look.
and I call
I need
myself,
that all of my life.
oh, I got you. I definitely got you. I got you. I call myself trying to date afterwards and ran into another narcissist.
Hmm.
So that was just like,
Hmm.
he wasn't abusive or anything like that. He was just more with words and, playing mind
Hmm.
games. So it just kept in a
Right.
fall. So it's, you know, again, it's just, oh Lord, thank you for getting out of
Yes.
that kind of
Thank
stuff.
you.
But
Yes.
thank you, because
Listen. That
now the healing is
that's all
taking
you
place.
can say.
Yes, that's all you can say. Cause I don't have nothing else. I don't have no other words.
Listen, cause you get into that spot to where it's like I done been through this.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back through this no more. Like, I'm not trying to
Mm-mm,
trickle back down that same path of destruction. Like, why
mm-mm,
would I want to put myself back into that toxic, traumatic, traumatizing situation with anybody?
mm-mm.
No.
I just can't. I just don't. The door not cracked open. None of that. Like none of that is able to come
Mm-mm.
over here because I just can't deal with it.
No.
I can't, and I won't. Ain't no can't. I
It's
won't deal with it.
it's there you go. Exactly. You won't. And it is no. And it's like soon as the smallest thing comes up, checkmate, you gotta go. Mm-mm.
That's the truth. Oh, that's so sad, but I can't help it. I'm just like, oh, you okay? Never mind. Pump the brakes on that. That's
Yeah,
out. That's done.
yeah,
It is it.
absolutely.
So yeah.
Listen, I've been there. I've ran into, like, because it's crazy, because after my situation, I remember wasn't even dating, taking myself out, doing all these things for myself, hanging with the kids. And I ran into a person and I'm like, I don't want to be in a relationship. We can speak and conversate, but I didn't want anything more than that. And they were trying to pressure me into a relationship, and you know how they get to, I'm a good man and you should be with
Yep.
me and I won't do you like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. But then as I'm moving around and still just living my life, they're getting mad because I'm not answering the phones. And that was right there. Up, shut down moment. Block, 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 block. I'm good. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah. That's
Mm-mm.
how, the
Mm-mm.
relationship that I tried to have after, separating, divorcing my ex-husband. He was like that, just very
Mm-hmm.
persistent. I think, we should give it a try and this and that. And
Mm-hmm.
man, everything he said was a lie. So now I'm just like, oh no, you can't tell me nothing. If you tell me that,
Nope.
you got some tulips that's growing out of a cow's behind, I'm gonna need you to bring it to me because I ain't believing none of you.
Yeah.
Like you just not gonna be able to lay that on me no more. I'm just,
I need
no,
to
we're not
see
doing
it.
that. I need to see it because I'm not getting
Listen,
tricked
all
again.
the way. Mm-mm.
I'm not. No.
Listen. Mm-mm. Because you get tired of hearing the I can do this, or this is how it's gonna be, and then when you
Yep.
in the midst of it, like, no, that's not how it is, and never mind.
Yep, I'm just like, yeah, no thanks. I'm good. I'm good
Right.
on all that. All the stuff you promised me, I promise
Listen.
myself, and I make sure that I hope I keep
Right.
my word for me. So, yeah, no,
Absolutely.
mm-mm.
Absolutely. And that's a lot of things that some people have to understand, because some people don't want to leave because finances, or they might feel, materialistic things or things, because like I go back to the shelter. Excuse me. Sorry. I go to the shelter that's out here. And I go talk to the clients and the individuals that are in there, to just kind of, well, before COVID. Right now I'm trying to get back into it because COVID, they still not letting me over there
Shut
yet.
down everything.
But I
Yeah.
go there, yeah, I go there and try to give them confidence and courage, and just the understanding that don't let fear be the reason why you go back to the toxicness that you was into. Like I've
Yeah.
met a one lady that she was like, financially, she wanted to go back because she didn't have any money, and she's like, what am I supposed to do? I said, have faith.
Yeah.
Don't fear.
It-
Have faith.
it-
And you gotta do for what's best for you and your son. You gotta do
it's
what's
the
gonna
truth.
motivate your situation.
And
We a lot of times, like,
that's my biggest thing with family. That,
hmm
somebody get out of a situation like that, try to help as much as you can. Like, you don't want somebody to die because they don't feel like they can go sleep on, somebody's couch for a couple of days, couple of weeks, whatever it
right,
is. But, that was a big deal for me too. For a good portion of my marriage, was a housewife. Yes, I had went to school and got a degree, but I was a housewife. I was taking care of my children, and he
hmm
was the sole provider. And I would, have jobs, but it wasn't, able to keep up the lifestyle that I had with him. But
right,
but so it was hard. That was a big thing for me too. Like, how am I gonna take care of me and these kids? And so yeah, I had to kick in gear. But thank God that I had a cousin who allowed me to come, and stay with her until I got myself together. She wasn't asking for nothing but for me to get well. That's all. And
right.
I just thank God for
And
her heart, because I was able to get myself, and I did it in no time. Like, it only took me what, 90 days, 3 months, 4 months. I did it and
yeah,
turned everything around. Found a new job, place, got a new car, everything. Because when I say I lost everything, I mean that.
yeah,
I got it all back. Because I had a family member who was willing to help me. And that's the thing. Like, don't don't make people feel like they don't have nowhere to go if they get out these situations.
right.
Because it's bad enough that they had to go through it and mentally prepare themselves to move forward and move on from there, and then they don't have support. That's the number one reason why people stay and then they dead.
Yeah, yeah. Because they feel that they're not going to get any support. They don't feel like they have any help, or people are not listening to what they're saying. So they stay because they feel they don't have nowhere else to go,
Mhm.
nowhere else to
Yep.
turn to. They're like, if I
Yep.
leave, am I gonna be on the streets? Or, I'm not gonna have no money, or, how am I gonna take care of my kids? How I'm gonna feed them? How I'm gonna clothe them? How I'm gonna be able to do the things that I need to do for my child. So absolutely. Because I remember
Mhm.
having these conversations with friends of mine that had kids and she didn't know what to do next. She was like, I got all these kids. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So,
It's hard.
and
It's
it's
definitely,
hard.
it is. And that's the soft spot I have, because I know when you a mom and you have kids, your kids looking at you, you don't want to change their life so much, but you got to
Right.
do what's going to be better for y'all in the long run. This is only temporary that you having a setback, because guess what? That push you going to get to come out on the other side of this, oh baby, it's gonna catapult you. You gonna go on. You gonna spread your wings and keep it moving, and you ain't gonna even know that you was out there, without a place to stay for a while, or you had to change what you had to eat for a second, or whatever you got to do, you gonna do it.
Right. Absolutely. Listen, I hope y'all here. Just because you feel that there's nowhere to go, if I'm gonna say it like this, it should be a shelter or a program out there that should be able to help y'all if no family is gonna help y'all. It should be
Yeah,
something,
true.
1-800 number that should be able to give you information to tell you where y'all can go to next. Because a lot of times we have to search out certain situations. Because like I know I used to go to social services, and they'll ask you like,
Yeah.
are you in danger? Are you comfortable at home? Like even when you go to your doctor's office, they ask you all these questions. So it's the time to not be
That's true.
silent and speak out if necessary.
That is true.
I
And there's always,
I'm about to say,
this
I think you
domestic
moved.
abuse.
You were Oh, there
Um,
you go. You were
oh,
coming
I'm
in and out
sorry.
for a
I was.
second. You're
I'm sorry. Abuse victims. There are shelters in place. They'll take you in right away. So if you don't have family,
Mhm.
get somewhere where you'll be safe. And don't even be concerned with the material things that you feel you'll lose out on, because you can get all that back. Nothing is more important than your life. Um, Nothing is more important than that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope you heard. Nothing is more important than your life and yourself and your kids. Everything materialistic, you can get back. I'm telling
You
you.
can get it back.
I've
I'm
lost an
telling you.
apartment. And yeah, listen, it'll come back to you in a different way, but you'll get it back.
It's very true. It's very true. All this stuff, this all come with a price. You can get a
Absolutely.
place. How many places around here you can get a car? And if you can't get a car right now, get where you need to get. If you got to get on a bus, but whatever you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
be alive for it. You got to live to do it.
Right.
And so just
Absolutely.
make that your point.
Amen to that. Now, can you tell them how to connect with you? And you said your book is coming out August 2nd. So, I'm gonna have to put you on my
Yeah,
other platforms when that book come out so we can talk about that. And
yeah, yeah,
just let
yeah.
them, yes, absolutely. Because I got like three other podcasts that I got going on. So I'm definitely
I
gonna have you on
love
those
it. I
platforms
love
to
it.
talk about those books. So can
Okay.
you? And you heard I said books, so I'm putting it out there that is more to
Put
come.
it out there for me.
So
Put it out there for me.
yes,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
am. I'm putting it in there. It's more to come. I am. So can you
Yes.
tell
Wh-
them
Yeah.
how to follow
Connect with
you, how to
me
connect with you?
on, yeah, to follow and connect with me. I am Shamika Morton on Facebook, because that's my daddy's name. That's the man that loved me. So I have his name on my Facebook, Shamika Morton. Um, I am on Instagram. I'm not as active yet, but I will be. That's my fun, goofy side that you'll get to see on Instagram, and it's Smook EST.1984, SMOOK .EST dot at 1984. So SMOOK .EST 1984. Um, I am on. Let's see. I said I was gonna do a because everybody's like, you need to get a Snapchat and all that. I don't do all that kind of
I
stuff.
don't even have a snap. I got a TikTok, but I
No,
don't have a snap.
I don't have any of that. I am just a Facebook. I am very active on Facebook, so you can follow me there. Again, it's Shamika Morton on Facebook. I share, my life's journey. I share my book information. I share counseling services that I'm starting. Like, I share everything there.
Amen, amen. Now, can you leave them one positive message that can hold them through, just in case somebody's going
Uh,
through something that needs to hear a word?
what I do know is, if you lose one thing, God will restore 10 things, because He pays you back tenfold. He don't give you just
Amen.
a little bit. He gives you greater than what you feel like you've lost. Again, my number one thing is it's cool to get out and get yourself help. It's okay if you're dealing mentally with this trauma that you've been through, because it is trauma. If you have gone through such a trauma, it's okay to go seek help for it. Go and make yourself whole. What we have to remember is we all are here for a purpose. Your purpose was not to be walked all over. God ain't do none of that.
Amen.
So if you gonna
Amen.
walk in your purpose, keep your head up and keep stepping. And if you want to know, any little nuggets or advice that I've learned along the way, I'm definitely always a message away. So you can message me on Facebook, whatever. I will connect with you, pray with you, sit down and talk with you. We'll get through it. It don't matter. It don't have to always be your family to help you get through some stuff. It's some people out here that's being where you are, that do not mind sharing their testimony, hoping that you make it on the other side like we did.
Absolutely. Amen. 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 I thank everybody for tuning in today for our special guest, Shamika Harris. This have been Let Loose and Be Free. And I
Let
want y'all to
loose.
continue to understand that let loose and be free means to let it go, be free,
Yeah.
and be unapologetically to any situation you may be dealing with. I will be
Yeah.
back I will be back Friday with 2 more guests sharing their let loose and be free. So tune in Friday at 7 to 9, and we will be in the building with author Shadine. And you know that I am the author of The Mask Behind the Mask and Unveil the Broken Pieces of them, and there are both on the platforms of Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. I'm also a spoken word artist, and my album is out, and it's called I Was Always a Rose in the Darkness of Love. Download
Whew.
those spoken word poets. They are there. They help to empower you, inspire you, and motivate you. This is what I do. This is what Sheena Master Motivation is about. This is to help you remove those masks and break those pieces of the things that keep you in bondage. As always, I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I will see y'all on Friday.
Good night,
Hi, I
guys.
just want everyone to understand that the poetry that I wrote walking down that path was a trying time in my life. And a lot of times we go through things. And we take those walks, and you need someone to take the walk down that path with you for them to understand the rough time that you went through. You don't want no one to judge you from what you went through. You don't want no one to look at you different from where you've been. You don't want them to see the hurt. You don't want nobody to see you crying. You don't want nobody to see your pain. But this is when you have to ask someone to walk that journey with you, because it's hard. I needed some.
Yeah, I'm not being retarded. My internet wants to be special. It does.
That's how
I'm
it
gonna have to.
goes.
I'm gonna call you on your phone in a second.
Okay, that's fine.